Welcome,
Welcome.
Housewives of True Crime.
What's up?
Gretchen's coming to Texas time.
Giddy up. Hee haw. All
So
that.
Gretchen's leaving in 1 hour to get her
That's
ASS here.
that's right.
And we're recording early mornings so that we don't have to do it with our husbands and our children and all that fantasticness.
Because they actually want to be with us all the time because they just love us so much.
It's true.
Can't get enough of us. Mhm.
Or they don't want to be put with 6 children by themselves.
Oh, there's that. They get a little resentful. Yeah, I did a lot of that last weekend.
2 weekends in a
Yeah,
row might be too much.
2 weekends in a row might be too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Husband does not
And
like that.
I did a lot of self-care this week, and so I can't go
Oh,
off by myself anymore. Got the hair did
yeah. Looks
and
good.
fresh face. Okay?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my fresh face this week, Gretchy.
Oh, tell me.
So I tried a new botox person. Hasn't quite set in all the way, but it's getting there around
Yeah.
these little parts.
Yeah.
Okay. And I go to the place and I'm like, oh, it's great. It's really close to my house. This is awesome. I walk in, I'm like, hey, sit down. I'm new here, Tabitha. And like after 5 minutes, the girl was like, so, who do you have an appointment with? And so I say, so and so. And she's like, are you sure? Because so and so doesn't work here. I'm like, oh,
What?
do you have my name down? She was like, no. I went to the wrong Botox place and was literally in
Did
their
they put it in
office.
your face?
What?
Did they inject you?
No, they did not.
Oh,
I
okay.
I
Okay.
looked at it, it has kind of a very similar name. Um,
Yeah.
and I was running late anyways, like I always am. So then I was like, oh shoot. Like I was worried that the other place was like not gonna take me because now I'm 20 minutes late because it's not, right next door and not as close to my house as the first one. But
Oh my God.
it was funny and so typical of me. Thank God my husband was not in the car and it wasn't for the kids or something. Like I'd be in big trouble.
Okay, well, that is a pickle, but it's not embarrassing AF. And I have an embarrassing AF story for you, and it's all your fault.
Why my fault?
Let me tell you. Okay, so I drive a black SUV, like millions and billions of other people.
I
Okay.
drive a black SUV also.
Correct. And if you recall, we were supposed to be matchy matchy and both get personalized
Oh,
license
right.
plates. And you told me it was a good idea. And I
Went for it.
did. I went for it. I went full stop. And then Tab got to thinking, no, I'm not going to do that. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Well, then I moved.
Yeah, well, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
You know, I don't think you were ever going to do it. You just left me hanging. Okay.
I tried.
Okay. Anyhow, let me tell you why it's not a good idea. So I dropped off my kids last week at the camp. So great. Freedom. Okay. Driving on the freeway, rocking the free world in my car because there's no children in it with me. And I see a man beeping his horn, hanging his body out of the car, waving me at me.
Okay.
It was my husband's boss.
Oh, God.
On the freeway. And if I would have just been in any other normal license plate, he never would have known. But he's like, oh,
I saw the plates.
I saw the plates.
Oh my God. That is so awesome. I love that. And it's not very embarrassing.
Oh, it is. It got worse because so my husband is like, hey, Mark came in and he said he saw you on the freeway. He said you were talking to somebody, you were very distracted. And I said, "Oh, I wasn't talking. I was actually singing." And my husband's like, "Hey, Mark, dude, she was singing. That was just her rocking out. She wasn't talking to anybody." So I can't wait to run into him again. That's not embarrassing at all.
You should be like, we're rocking in the free world. Yeah, give them your tunes.
Right? What are you going to do?
I'm taking you this weekend to rock your tunes also.
I know. I'm pretty excited. And I know we just have been discussing my outfits since I don't fit into 99% of my clothes. And I said I was going to wear a dress, but I don't think I can because how am I going to do my high kicks if I'm not wearing pants?
Oh, yeah. Well, then wear jeans. My friend wore jeans last night. It's a little warm, but one of the places is inside we're going to, so I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
Let me tell you something else pretty funny. Okay, so my kids, well, one of them in particular, likes this YouTuber named Preston Plays.
Oh, yeah, you've told me about this person.
Because the reason I was able to get him to move to Texas is because Preston lives in Texas. And so I promised him we'd meet Preston one day.
Yeah.
So that's really the only way I got Caden to move here. Now Preston has a coffee shop, or his mom has a coffee shop. And we were on our way to a baseball game and I saw it. Okay, so I took my son back there because I'm like, this is awesome. It's Preston's little coffee shop. It's got his little logo. It's called Fire Cup. You would die if you saw it. It's the cutest, like old historic building that they made into a coffee shop. It's like the cutest thing.
Okay, I love
And anyways, on the way there is a gas station and it's called Pump and Munch. Okay. Do you not laugh at that name?
I think it depends on what part of town it is. That
Well,
that could be the name for something else entirely.
yeah. So were driving by and I just started dying laughing. And my husband was like, you have the dirtiest mind ever.
Like,
I was
yes,
like,
guilty.
I was like, and so does that business owner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I am sure that is why they named it that. So all weekend we were like, let's go to Pump and Munch. And then they're like, do you pump and then munch or do you munch and then pump? I think it was supposed to be called Munch and Pump.
I think it's whatever your prerogative. Maybe you don't pump at all. Maybe you just munch, or vice versa.
There's that.
Each their own.
Truth.
Truth. Okay, you got some crime.
I do. Let's do it. All right. This case this week comes out of Boston. So we haven't done a lot of Massachusetts. So if you don't know a lot about Boston, it's where the Tea Party happened. Familiar with that one, Crutchy? The Boston Tea Party.
There's actually been a lot of historical events in the Boston tab.
It's very
lot.
close to where the Pilgrims landed. The Plymouth Rock.
There's a whole thing called, I think you need to go and walk the Freedom Trail yourself and learn all the historical significance of Boston. I'm not going to school you right now, but it's kind of a big fucking deal.
I know, I've been there. I did that walk. I also, when I was doing that walk, I had
sober? Did you do it sober?
I did because I had that nasty parasite at the time. Remember, I thought I was dying of like, oh God, something really bad. It was really bad.
So she had to find was really bad.
I found every single bathroom on the Freedom Trail. Just saying. I also would recommend their Irish pubs there. They're really good too.
So, I had a real fun night out in Boston one time.
You did without me?
Without you, yeah. I stopped there on my way to Iceland with my cousin, Kara, and she's not one for going out, but shoot, in a foreign city, I'll go out by myself, no problemo. So I took my fine self out, met a dude. I didn't go home with him or anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I met him. I talked to him. Apparently, I told him like I was from Ventura,
Yes.
and I just thought like, oh, this was some dude I talked to in Boston. Not a big deal. He called me.
Oh,
I was like, how did you get my number?
yeah.
He was like, I looked
Especially
you up.
back
There's
then.
only one. Like, there. Yeah, it was like way back then. He's like, there's only one Gretchen in Ventura. I'm like, whoa. I was like super freaked out. Yeah.
I think that's like super love. That's like
I didn't
serendipity.
I didn't know. My creeper senses went off.
Oh,
I never talked to him again.
oh.
Yeah. I was we didn't even talk that much. I didn't feel any electricity.
Oh, okay. All
Okay.
right. Well, I don't know what to say about that, but good riddance to
Oh,
that
I
guy.
know. It's so exciting. You can't top it. Yeah, later.
Because maybe it would have been the guy I'm going to talk about, and we know likey him. Okay.
Dude, it probably is. That's why my senses went off.
It could be. If it was in 2008 or 9,
Okay.
it could be. Okay.
Okay.
There's also a lot of really great schools in Boston. They've got like MIT, Harvard, and the Boston University, just to name a couple. And
Yeah, those are
this
pretty good.
particular student that I'm going to talk about was going to the medical school, Boston University Medical School, and his name was Philip Markoff. He was 23. So if it was him, he would have had to been like way younger than you at the time. Just saying. Could have been.
I don't know. Gray hair.
The guy had gray hair?
I remember that part.
No.
Yeah, he was like young with gray hair, but he had, I mean, you know me, I was dating older then. I was like early 20s,
Okay.
but I was like not ready for gray hair yet.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. This guy did not
I
have
mean, I
gray hair.
put up with it now.
Yes, of course.
My husband says he credits me for his whole head of gray hair
You're
because
40.
he got it the day we got married. Yeah.
All right. So Philip, from the outside, was the ideal human. He was tall. He's good looking. People said he was kind of like a Abercrombie looking kind of guy. He had brains of a doctor because he was soon to be one. In high school, he was in the honor society. He was on the golf team, bowling team, and constantly volunteered out of the goodness of his heart. I am sure his parents, although they were divorced, felt like they did good. And
right, golf and bowling, those are like the two laziest fucking sports ever. Like,
he
I'm
didn't
not
have really
impressed.
time to practice because he was volunteering at the hospital all the time, you see.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay, I got it. Okay,
um,
okay, just saying.
and you don't, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's all kinds of doctors out there, but if you're a doctor, you're probably studying your ass off and not playing a lot of football. You know what I'm saying?
True, I get your point.
Okay. I just don't see the doctors as the sporty type, but I'm sure there are some.
Okay.
Philip's dad was a successful dentist in upstate New York, and his mom at one time was an educator, but she turned casino dealer. I'm sure it made her a
Fun.
lot more money. Made,
Mhm.
single mom paying the bills, got to do what you got to do. And yeah, who doesn't love a casino dealer? I mean,
Right?
super. I always try to find the ones that I'm like, you're going to talk to me and we're going to have a real good time
Yeah.
together,
Yeah, but then we get married and then the pit boss comes in and breaks us up. That's how I feel about my dealers. I get attached.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. They're like, you got to go.
Yeah.
When Philip graduated in only 3 years with his bachelor's in biology, things were looking good for this kid. He had a serious girlfriend named Megan McAllister, who was also pre-med, and they met volunteering at the local emergency room in New York. They
They
both
just
moved.
let volunteers work on emergencies?
I think if you're pre-med, yes, I do think so. I think you can volunteer anywhere. I mean, they, I'm sure they were not like administering drugs, but like cleaning up puke.
Oh, okay.
You choose.
Fun.
Um, they moved to Boston so he could immediately start medical school. And that's where he was, Boston University School of Medicine. These two got engaged on a horse and carriage. I mean, dreamy. And life was on the up and up. Megan was busy planning a wedding for August 2009, and Philip was plugging away at school and working in the hospital. But Philip had a different side to him, one that no one would believe that this squeaky clean, soon to be doctor would be into. He had a real dark side, Gretchy. I think a few people, even his fiance, knew that he liked to gamble. He was a real poker fanatic and, like me, liked to win. And also, like me, hated to walk away a loser. But
Well, nobody likes to do that, but some of us have to take it for the team.
true. When I walk away a loser, I walk away with like $100 out of
Oh
my
my
pocket.
God. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I
And you
don't walk.
pout a little bit.
Oh, listen, I pout a lot,
Yeah.
even if it's $100. But I never rack up like
Oh,
a
no,
shit ton of money.
no. We have a limit. Yeah.
Philip walks away with like $100,000 out of pocket. And mind you, he's a medical student.
That's
So
tough.
he's already probably hundreds of thousands of dollars out of pocket in just bills that he has to pay eventually.
Yeah.
But the gambling wasn't really the dark side. That's actually the light side of what Philip was into. No one knew that Philip was into some serious porn sites, dark sites, kinky sites, sites for extras. In 2008, Philip was on a site where he posted like naked chest pictures without his head, seeking transvestites. So it would be like M seeking T, I think is what it looks like.
Okay. And to be clear, that was the term that was used then. We don't use the term transvestite anymore.
That's right. This is like in 2000, and this was in 2008, and that's exactly what it said.
Okay.
He seemed to dabble into conversations back and forth about meeting up with a particular person. And we don't have evidence that they actually did. And this particular person said that they did not meet with him. But it seemed like he was getting to a point where he might start meeting up with people.
Okay.
No evidence that he actually did. Okay. In 2009, Philip would let his dark side take over his senses, and he went searching on a news site, which was not a new site, but a new site for him. He was, I told you he was like into like kind of kinkier sites before. This time he went straight to like the white pages of the internet to Craigslist.
Okay. Oh, well, I think shit goes down on Craigslist.
Shit goes down on Craigslist. Dude, by the way, there are lots of Craigslist killers, not just like one. So shit does go down on Craigslist.
That's why I never want to sell anything.
Dude, I get so like nervous about it because you kind of, even on like Facebook Marketplace, you're like, hey, come meet me at my house. Hopefully you don't kill me.
I've bought a
Get
lot of
this
stuff off
refrigerator out of here.
Craigslist. Yeah, I've bought a lot of stuff off those sites,
Mhm.
but I've never sold anything.
Oh, dude. Before I had kids, I sold something and I had to take the guy into my underground parking garage at an apartment I lived in by myself. I was like, this is so stupid.
That is so stupid. Yeah.
I know. Okay, so on April 10th, 2009, Philip searched on Craigslist erotic services, which is no longer around either. After erotic services, they changed it to adult services, I think. And then I think it's removed completely from Craigslist at this point.
Probably a good
And
idea, Craigslist.
yeah. So he finds a woman by the name of Trisha Leffler. Trisha says on 48 Hours that he called her and she said, yeah, sure. It's $200 an hour. She was an escort, is what she called herself on Craigslist. And he says, yeah, I'm good with $200 an hour. So he gets to her hotel room. And as soon as he walks in, he locks the door behind him and he pulls out a gun very, very calmly. He ties her up, gags her, and robs her. At first, he uses gloves, like he had gloves on, but then he removed them at one point, went around the hotel, leaving his fingerprints everywhere. So, really not the best criminal, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
He tapes Trisha's mouth shut with duct tape without gloves on. He cuts the phone lines to the hotel room. Then he ties her to the bathroom door, where he leaves and Trisha is able to break free immediately. She calls for security from the next room, and police immediately come and they take her seriously, which is pretty amazing because I can see these types of crime, especially today when our police force is at a minimum resource level, that it would just be blown off. I mean, he steals
Yeah, because she's an
$800 from
escort.
her
Yeah.
and she's an escort, right? Like, I feel like in Los Angeles, even if they caught the person that stole $800, they would be let go, right? But
Well, yeah.
yeah,
I think you don't even get arrested in LA unless you commit $1,000 offense. Isn't that like the deal?
yes, and even when you get arrested, you get let go right away anyways. So,
Okay, for one side note though, I feel like $200 an hour is way too cheap. I feel like it should be like $200 for like a hand job alone. Like up your rates.
maybe it's upped once you get there and it's like, "Oh, you wanna do that?" I mean, $200 is just to be an escort, so, like, what is that? I'll go to dinner with you? I don't really know.
Yeah, okay. Okay, and so he didn't rape her, he just robbed her.
He just robbed her.
Okay.
Yep. So, the police take her seriously. It's 2009, and we're still pro police at that point, and they were on top of it, dude. Philip had only erased his number off of her phone. He's a smart guy, but not that smart because you still have records of like who called you and
Hello.
hello. I mean, it's not instantaneously, but
Yeah.
it's there. Trisha has said that she felt like he was so calm when he was doing this that she felt like he's done it before. There are
Totally.
no known cases that he had done it before, but I it doesn't mean he didn't, you know?
Maybe a lot of escorts don't even report it.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I think that because also she had mentioned when the police came that they didn't do anything to her for having this business in this hotel, which probably is not legal, you
Right.
know? And so I'm sure like you're scared. You're like, "Oh shoot, I'm not doing something legal, so I can't call on somebody that did something illegal to me." But thankfully this girl did. So the next day, Philip heads to the casino like nothing.
Like
Just
nothing.
robs her,
Okay.
takes her money to the
Dick.
casino.
Okay.
Then on April 14th, only 4 days later, Philip went back onto Craigslist and found a woman by the name of Julissa Brisman offering massages under the erotic section. The two met at a hotel again. And it seems like all these hotels are pretty fancy hotels, like the Marriott, the Westin,
Wow.
in
Okay.
nice areas.
Okay.
The two met at this hotel, and instead of just tying her up and stealing all her money, Philip shot and killed Julissa.
Oh, shit.
So we don't know exactly what happened in the hotel room, but what people imagine and people that know Julissa say that she was not about to take this motherfucker shit. And unfortunately, Philip lost his and shot her after hitting her over the head with his gun. So it seemed like maybe he had a bit of a temper
You think?
and he killed her. So Jalissa, she was only 25 years old. She was almost 26. The next week was her birthday. And from reports, she had a bit of a troubled past, but she was so young and she was on the up and up. She had a diary stating that she was sober and she was loving her sober life. And so I think her life was just really getting started. She had enrolled in community college and planned on becoming a drug and alcohol counselor. And Philip took it all away from this beautiful girl one night. Once he killed her, he left the room like nothing happened, and it didn't faze him. Again, he heads to the casino. Dude, like, I feel,
Psychopath.
yes, I feel like if you were just robbing people, then you took it to the next level, maybe you would have a fucking heart attack like that you just did that.
Yeah.
But not Philip.
No.
Philip actually went on Craigslist again.
Oh,
And
shit.
he found his last and final victim. Her name was Corrine, or is Corrine Stout. Corrine offered her services on Craigslist as an exotic dancer, where she gave lap dances.
Okay.
Laptops would be good too.
Yeah.
Extra expensive. Anyhow, Philip began his whole routine again. Shows up to the hotel room, pulls out a gun, and Corrine's husband comes out of the next room. So
Right? Because I was going to say, if you're a dancer, you got to have security. You can't be
I
doing that
know.
by yourself.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem with the other two girls. And some detectives had said, like, this is the reason that people do have like a pimp or a person that kind of a bodyguard,
Mhm.
because they stand outside, they make sure nothing happens. And with the other two girls, they were working independent, right?
Yeah.
This one, she had her husband there. Right when that happened, he comes out and scares Philip off. And dude, I mean, she got really lucky because
Yeah.
I don't know if Philip was on a robbing spree or he was becoming the next serial killer. I honestly believe that Philip would have been like the next Ted Bundy type eventually if police had not stopped him. After Philip ran out of the robbery, guess where he went?
Where?
To the casino.
Oh, shit.
This guy. So him and his bride to be, Megan McAllister, were on their way to the casino.
Oh, I forgot about her. Damn it.
Yeah, he's engaged to be married.
Shit. Oh, Megan. This is not going to work out.
Well, I mean, what if you were in the car and they pulled your fiance over, who is a medical student, and you think he's working at the emergency room, but really he's offing women in the hotel?
That'd be a real bummer.
So they pull him over. They pull both of them over. And you see, after Trisha, the first girl, they started pulling footage from cameras because these hotels have security cameras all over.
Hello, they do.
They figure out his email, his IP address. They find out real quick who Philip is. And then once Julissa was murdered, they pulled the footage from that hotel. Looks like the same guy. I mean, he's tall, blonde. Dude, 23 years
Yeah.
old. Pretty
Yeah.
distinct. You don't see a lot of blonde guys running around. So immediately they go back to Trisha and they say, hey, is this the guy? This guy looks like this guy, but is this the guy? And she says, yeah, that must have been before he came to my hotel. They were like, no, 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 this is another hotel. And he just murdered a girl. I mean, could you imagine?
Oh, shit.
So they got him pretty quickly. Once they pulled the two over, they arrested Philip, and Megan was like, what?
Yeah.
But
What the
she was
what?
convinced that they got it wrong. Like, she's like, I can't, like, he wouldn't even hurt a fly. She really had no clue, dude.
Do you believe that? Is that her story? You're with it?
I'm with it.
Okay.
I don't think she had a clue. I think she was
Okay.
super fooled.
Okay.
Because at first she was like, no, 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 like, we are getting married. This is a big mistake. This is not happening to me. This is not my life. I'm marrying a doctor. But I'm sure after a little digging on her own and some additional information that came out, she decided that maybe marrying the guy sitting in jail for killing somebody wasn't the best idea, even though Philip pled not guilty. So a few months after Philip was arrested, Megan went to the prison to tell Philip that it was over. Philip didn't seem to take that very well, and he was put on
Oh, his little
suicide
temper
watch.
flared.
What?
I said, what, his little temper flared?
I think his temper flared a little bit in the prison.
Yeah.
And he actually was like tempering against himself. Didn't really have anybody else to do it against, so he's put on suicide watch, tried to kill himself a couple times in jail. And exactly 1 year and 1 day after he was supposed to be married, Philip finally did kill himself in prison.
Oh.
He had written Megan's name in blood on the wall of his jail cell.
Ugh.
He had made a knife out of a piece of metal and a pen from prison where
Ugh.
he cut his arteries, his major arteries in his legs,
Okay.
feet, and
Okay.
neck.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just telling you how he did it.
Okay.
But he left no suicide note. But I would really like to know what really was inside his head, because I truly believe that the police warded off a future serial killer and spared probably multiple lives, and Megan's for that matter, because she's able to like move on and meet somebody else and not actually marry a psychopath.
Yeah, but she comes with a lot of baggage now.
Oh, fuck, dude, I know. So I could not find, there's a couple Megan McAllisters out there, one in particular that was running for the Senate, I think,
Yeah.
right? Is
Mm-hmm.
that in Minnesota or something?
I don't know, but I know I hear that name.
I don't think that's her.
No, it's not her.
Well, you could be. They're around the same age.
I watch more news than you, and I think I would know.
Okay. I don't
That
think
would
it's
be a
her.
hot topic. I think it would have been like, shoot, Craigslist killer's fiance running for Senate. I think somebody would have sent us that story.
True, true. So yeah, I don't think that's her either. I did find another Megan McAllister that was married. When she was dating him, she had like strawberry blonde hair, real cutie. And the ones that I found online do not have strawberry blonde hair, but that doesn't mean that, 12 years later, she didn't dye her hair
Right.
different color. But I looked, I just couldn't, or if she got married, I would drop that McAllister in a second, even though I think it's a great last name. I just wouldn't want,
I would have changed my last name right away.
regardless.
Oh
But
yeah,
that's like,
like the Chris Watts girlfriend.
yeah,
Remember that shady girl? She or I mean it's debatable whether she was shady or not.
she is. She's got something to do with it.
She is. I just read that she still writes him.
She's a
His
freak.
who knows? I mean, his it's coming from like people in the jail are saying that she writes him under a different name. But anyway, she changed her name right away. Um, yeah. So and I think that was smart.
What?
Although
To
it was
go
why to change his
underground?
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, although it was widely reported what she changed her name to, so I don't know that it like
Helped.
yeah.
I mean, you have to do like 2 times digging to actually find it, right? It's
Yeah.
like if you really want to know, you can know. But yeah, so that is the story of Philip Markoff, the Craigslist killer, one of the
Well,
Craigslist
shoot.
killers.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought the Craigslist killer I seriously thought it was like advertised like, furniture.
No, there
Is there
isn't.
another one that like did that?
Probably there is another one that I began to do, and it was a female killer. She um also was looking for love, basically. Um, and she advertised her services and then would kill the guys because once they showed up, she would be like, I'm not really 20, I'm only 16. And then if they were willing to still do it with her, she would kill them.
Oh, that's crazy.
Um,
They should make a movie about that.
they caught her for one. Well, there is that movie Monster, which is similar to that.
Yeah.
Um, but they only caught her for one murder, but she has said that she's killed 22 people, but there's no evidence of it. So maybe she killed 22 people in her mind. I don't know. It's a crazy case. I almost did it. But maybe I'll do it one day. The other Craigslist killer
The other
chick.
Craigslist killer. Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I just did? Oh, are you done? Is that a WAP?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay. I just would like to speak on this for a second. Everyone needs to go out and watch The Housewife and The Hustler on Hulu. Let's all watch it this week and talk about it. I watched it last night. I knew Tabitha was out to dinner. I still had to text her and tell her, you have to watch this. Please watch it before I get there. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's about Erica Jane and her husband, Tom Girardi, and what's up with that. And when you hear the victims' stories, oh my gosh, it'll break your heart. And I think Erica knew.
Oh, you do.
Here's where she gets me. Let's say she didn't know. She has listed in court papers tab that she's not giving up her shit, like all her Birkin bags and shit, because they were gifts. If I found out that my husband, my life, everything was a big old fraud, and my Chanel was, at the expense of some orphans and widows, I would purge all my shit. She still has her salary from Beverly Hills. Like, wouldn't you just like leave it behind?
Who cares?
Who gives a shit? But she's like trying to hold on to her shit. I'm like, you selfish fucking bitch. You give all your materialistic stuff away. You had it too long, okay? And go, and you can still live a nice life on your housewife salary, whatever, but no more, none. zip, zero, give it all away. If you keep any of it, knowing what we know about the victims, you are a awful person.
I cannot wait to watch it. I'll
Yeah.
try. How long is it?
It's not long. It's
Okay.
like maybe it's like an hour.
I could probably watch
And
it on my
it's a
way
watch.
somewhere.
You can watch, listen. Like I did it while I
Yeah,
was
that's what
packing.
I
Like
want to
you
do.
can just listen and like in the car or something. You don't have to watch the screen.
Right. Okay. I will do that.
Okay.
I cannot wait to do that. I did have a really nice dinner. I'll tell you all about it. And I want to give some people some shout outs. If you guys love us, please give us a shout out on Instagram and we will give you a shout out, but you have to tag us because I don't know unless you tag us.
True.
So today I want to shout out Rebecca. Thank you so much. And your last name is really hard to pronounce. Svetovich. I don't know. Sorry. Like really jacking that up. Also SoCal Barbie, so cute. I wanted to repost that and I think I missed the timeline. So if you want to do it again, I will repost it. Wendy, thank you so much. Always amazing. She didn't tag us, but Kitty wrote me a really fun note. She was in Dallas this weekend. And she said that she was trying to look for me. But you know where I was? I'm not hard to find. I was at the piano bar. I was like, Kitty, I've only really gone one place in Dallas and I was there again.
It's true.
So, and we're recording kind of early, so I don't have any more for this week. But you know, keep tagging, keep posting. If you want more of us, we're on patreon.com/housewives of true crime and Instagram, Facebook group. Our Facebook group is probably the best place to really interact. Anything else, Scratchy Poo?
I think that's it.
That's a whop.
That's a whop.
That's a wrap. That's a pop.
All of it.
You know, there's a 80s and 90s hip hop group coming out to Dallas this weekend. It's like a tribute band.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, do you hear my stomach?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Like, those are called hunger pains.
Shoot.
I can't eat for another 2.5 hours anyways, so I'm in the intermittent fasting stage of hunger. Okay, well, anyways, get your ass on the airplane. I got to take my kids to BBS for the last 2 days, and I'll see you at the airport, though. Are you coming into Love Field, right?
Are you picking me up? Yeah, I am. Are you picking me up or am I calling a car?
I think I'm going to pick you up.
Okay, 3:30.
Yep. I'll see you there.
See you there.
All right, bye.
Bye.